Hi, I'm Stephen with AlbertaUrbanGarden.ca. As many of you know, one of the inspiring factors that started me gardening so many years ago was my grandparents. They have such a wealth of information that I've been lucky enough that they've shared with me. Some of my fondest memories growing up is gardening with my family, especially my grandparents and parents, and now my very own son. This last summer while I was in Ontario, I was lucky enough to spend some time with my Grandpa Legaree to interview him about his gardening. Now, some of you whom have been following me since the summer of 2013 may remember my Grandpa Legaree. He, along with my Grandpa Lampy, gave me some grapes that I'm so very proud of that I grow in my own garden at home now. So today I thought I would share with you Grandpa's best tips for a successful garden. So let's start off with question number 1. Grandpa, what is your best tip for a successful garden?
But to be successful at anything, you've got to plant lots. That way, if some dies, you've still got some growing.
Why did you start gardening?
Oh, I did it when I was a kid, eh? Yeah. I looked after the garden at home. I grew garden from the time I was small. When my kids were small, I used to give them each a road a hoe, clean up, and they did a pretty good job. Now they're all gardeners except for Blaine, and Blaine wasn't around when I had a big garden.
How do you fertilize your tomatoes?
I don't. They've got fertilizer in them when they compost and stuff, eh? All compost put in there. I got some miracle thing that I use a little bit on the houseplants and stuff like that. Sometimes when something needs a boost, I give it a little shot of that, but that's about all.
How do you make your compost?
All the stuff off the kitchen that you throw out, and the leaves and the weeds. And I do it, get a layer of leaves and then a layer of dirt. I put a little dirt on top of it. And in 2 months, they're gone, eh? You know, by the time you build it up, it's gone.
Why do you use dirt in your compost?
Well, the dirt helps rot the leaves and stuff, eh? Yeah, this is the stuff that's compost. Now that's all weeds and garden and kitchen stuff, hey? And hauled it all to the back and just kept putting weeds in it and covering it over with a little bit of dirt. And when the dirt helps rot the leaves and stuff, eh? So that's how I get my garden fertilized. The weed seeds come up, but you got to pick them anyways. No matter if you sterilize the soil, they'd grow.
When Grandpa told me that he could grow grapes in northwestern Ontario, I was quite surprised that I could also grow them here in Alberta.
Grapes are all right to grow. I didn't know that they would grow in this country, but they do, I guess, if you look after them. When it was in Guelph, they had them growing in the bush. They were wild, eh? And one year I covered them up the first couple of winters there, and the second winter I got about a 5-gallon pail full of grapes off from them. So it really grows good. I was giving grapes to everybody. That's what I do with my garden too, I give most of it away. I make grape juice a lot, eh? Yeah. Yeah. You can make jelly with them, jam and stuff like that with it too, so. But juice is a lot simpler.
How do you propagate your grapes, Grandpa?
Oh, when the branch hits the ground, if you just cover it over with a little bit of dirt, it'll grow a root on there, and then you cut it off and you got another plant. Or you can put them in water and split them like that.
How long does it take for your grapes to root, and when do you start?
Oh, I usually put them in, and then the next spring they got roots, and I transplant them wherever I want them. Spring. In the spring? Yeah, when they're still small. Most of the grapes go on last year's growth, eh? Yeah. So you got to watch you don't trim that all off on them, or you lose everything. Like these I planted them last spring, so there won't be too much grapes on them anyways. Don't see any right off the bat. There might be a couple, but they're doing good here in the sun. They like a hot sun, the sun shine and reflect off the wall and stuff. They seem to be growing anyways.
Thank you, Grandpa, for the interview. At the beginning of this video, I told you one of the biggest inspirations and why I love gardening so much is the fond memories that I have of it with my family. I would love to hear your fond memories of gardening in either a video response or in the comments section below. I truly hope that you guys have a wonderful and safe holiday season. I, for one, will be taking this time to reflect on how lucky I am to have such a fantastic family and wonderful group of friends. Thank you very much for joining me this year. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you have a fantastic day.
My brother has a great saying, we got 9 months of winter and 3 months of poor sleighing.